Hey, Billy Bob here. And it's Tuesday, a special Tuesday, because I've got a special guest. Eric Buckeye Boggs is joining us. But before we get to Eric, let's take a minute and if you like the show. If you don't like it, get the hell out of here. But if you like it, no, don't really stick around. You'll figure out you will like it. But make sure you like it, Facebook, you thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Hey, Instagram, I'd love to be broadcasting live on Instagram, but it says that I don't have enough. I don't know if they call them subscribers, but enough followers on Instagram. You need a lot of followers. The other two, they give me grace. So, but anyway, that's my commercial for now. So, Eric, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Look like you
Thank
got
you.
some sun there, my man. You look
I
like a
did.
Florida man.
Yeah. Well, I told you before we went live. I wear this hat when I go places warm because I want to feel like I'm on vacation. We went to the lake over the weekend, and I was wearing my Billy Bob backyard barbecue hat, and I was working on my Billy Bob tan and feeling good about life. Yeah.
I
Hey, by
I
the way,
think you have a
it's
go
It's
ahead.
been a while since we talked. Happy 250. It's happy 250.
Thank you.
We're
Happy
this is a
250. Yeah.
God bless freedom, baby. Let's go.
I got some Billy Bob 250 merch, but uh and I'm working on shipping. Oh my God, shipping the other day I shipped a shirt to Acoustic Larry and only about 3 hours away, and damn near cost as much as the shirt just to ship it UPS ground. But the woman was nice enough to give me this little tidbit, whoops, tidbit.
Hopefully,
But
she didn't give you something else.
yeah, that it's called Pirate Ship, and I guess they kind of combine uh, different companies, and it's kind of like what insurance companies will do from time to time, put a bunch of groups together, and so you get a discount. So I've signed up. I haven't sent a shirt yet, but by the way, I think you got a better tan than I do. Um, we've had about 2 weeks of not great weather. A lot of rain. If you like rain, and if everybody tells me we need the rain, I'm tired of hearing that damn stuff. But anyway, we've had a couple days. I did get some rays the last couple days. But so what's going on? What lake were you at, Eric?
Erie.
Oh,
We went.
well,
Yeah.
I didn't know if you went to one of the inland lakes, or so
No, we
you're
went to.
you're up to Lake Erie.
Yeah, we like to go to Lake Erie. We took the little hot rod convertible up to Put Bay this year and drove around the island for. I always wanted to do that. Personally, I like Kelly's Island more, but no, we stayed shoreside. We were at Marblehead, Port Clinton. Um, so that's kind of where we were hanging out.
Oh, we got Patrick Green. Excuse me, not Pat Green, but Pat Green's the singer. But yeah, so and that must be where you just recently got that Put in Bay hat
Yeah, yeah,
that I kind of
yeah. This one.
yes. You know what? I was looking for pictures of you, and I'll tell you what, it's harder than hell to do a screenshot while there's a video going on, because
Yeah,
either your mouth's wide open, your eyes are closed, or your eyes are open and your mouth. I mean, I had to snap, snap, snap. Jeez, oh man, I thought I was like a real photographer for a minute there. But yeah, we got one, and then I told chat, I said, just give me a little animation, just a little. But I didn't go all caricature on you like I did in my. I didn't even ask for Joey Bosa's number. Okay, I didn't even ask. But that's what chat came up with for me. Joey
yeah.
Bosa 97 with the Buckeyes. But so what's happening? It's been a while since we've been on together. It's been a while. In fact, the other day um, was I did I think it was Saturday. I did a Revived Alive. It was kind of like reviving the live broadcast of I hadn't done one in a while, and I kind of was out of sync on that. And whether it's traveling or work or working some funky hours because we got guys on vacation, and so it just never really fit in. Then we had kids. One of our granddaughters, she's moving into USF next week. She's going to go keep an eye on Heartline, but
Yeah.
so it was between USF and Miami of Ohio, and she negotiated a deal with USF to get like in-state tuition. So we're moving her in next week. But yeah, so I hadn't done it, but you guys have been doing a lot of stuff. I mean, it's off season, so but not anymore. But it had been off season, and you had a lot of good shows with different things and different topics. But tell everybody what you got going on, where they can find you. I know you got merch and stuff, so tell everybody all about it, Eric.
Yeah, the best part is just best place just go to the website, theohiopodcast.com. There you can find our links to every place you would want to find us on social media. Obviously at YouTube at the Ohio Podcast. Um, we do daily videos. We have lives in the evening, 4 days a week, and then of course we're doing what we call Super Secret Show for the members over on Patreon at 9 p.m. every evening. After we do lives on YouTube. So we're very busy. We've got a cast of characters, about 8 active hosts that are on just about every single week. Myself, and of course, the Wild Man, Chris Wilds, Sean the Shrockstar, Knoxville Nate, Bart Dennison, Buckeye Bart is on quite a bit now. Mika Hanna is on. She's our recruiting coordinator. We've got Buck Vader. He's our insider, and he's about as well connected with Ohio State as you possibly can get. His connections are unreal. TG, who is the Wolverine Slayer, she's full of energy, excitement. So we've got a cast of characters. You're bound to find somebody to like.
Yeah, so Vader, and he does his Vader, got his little
Blog, yeah.
uh, vocal box going on there. You got yeah, Nate was on with me for Sweet 16. We did a show, and
Yeah.
then Schrockstar, we did nothing about sports. It was remembering David Allen Coe,
Mm.
and so we had Sean and another guy I know that who's a DJ for 40 some years, and so we talked about an hour of David Allen Coe, more than you ever wanted to know, and you might even have called him by his name by the end of the show. But
Oh,
and then I saw Mika. I haven't listened to it yet, but I saw Mika just did an interview with Jamal Luke.
yeah.
So yeah. Now you, Bugsy, have had a rest because you have not been on. You weren't on Sunday, and you weren't on yesterday.
I was on yesterday. I was producing. I was behind the scenes.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
I,
was
I
the
figured it was, you know, Knoxville and Schrock were on yesterday.
Yeah, Nate's taking care of the show tonight. He's got another former Buckeye on tonight, so he needed Tuesday night, and I said I'll take care of Monday night, and I just produced it, and I
Okay.
joined EJ and Sean in the after show, and had a good conversation in the after show. So yeah, I'm getting those batteries charged and ready because once the season starts, it's like drinking from a water hose, Billy Bob.
Yeah, I mean, and now are you back, OTJ? Are you back?
Yeah, so I do. I gotta. I'm not full time anymore on YouTube. What I discovered was if you're going to do this full time, you need something that doesn't have an off season.
Okay.
Because it's funny how the numbers are great during the season, and you're making decent money, and it's like, okay, this can work, and then as soon as the season ends, over 80% of the people who were watching you they're checked out.
Right.
They've moved on, and I think that's just the nature of the beast with Ohio State fans. Most of them are football loving junkies who will be locked in for 5 months, and then when those 5 months are done, they are moving on to something else until football season comes back again.
So what do? They leave their silo?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's crazies like us who follow recruiting and we are plugged in 365. I guess one might say we are the lunatic fringe, maybe. And then there's about 80% of this fan base that just, I won't call them fair weather fans. I think they enjoy an off season and they're not going to watch anything or care about it. They don't follow recruiting in the offseason as close as we do. They're just more locked in when the season rolls around, and that's fine. That's who they are.
Well, I'm
But
going to tell you a
they're
dirty
they're
little
they're starting
secret.
to come back now. Now that it's August,
Right.
we're starting to see them numbers do this again.
Tell you a dirty little secret. I take a little time off too.
I I get it. I get it.
Little little time off for bad behavior, as the country song goes. But I referenced silos because you did a show that was
Mhm.
about people in their silos, and I think it
What'd you think
was.
about that?
I made a comment. I think it's interesting because I think there's pretty much people have been in a silo even before, and maybe even more so before social media. Because you're a Buckeye and you're in that I guess it's a silo. Um, you know, but they talk about that in marketing. They call it verticals in marketing, but which are somewhat similar. But I think it was a good show. I think that there's silos in politics and
Oh yeah.
a lot of different things. But yeah, sports. Um, people, I think the lunatic fringe probably more are in the silo all the time
Oh yeah. They
versus
never get out. They never touch grass, as
they,
the saying says.
yeah. So I try to listen to some other stuff. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. Top rankings and that type of thing. But uh, so let's before we get to the team, we'll talk about some other things about the team. We got a new they got a new football field, which you and the Wild Man have been ranting and raving about for a few years. Um, Ross Bjork tried to fix it a little bit last year by he removed all the pebbles or the rubber pellets, and then because there were way too many there, and then they put what was supposed to be a good number down, but the field in and of itself wasn't great. Correct?
Right. Yeah. So the artificial turf that they used, the best way it was described to me is that the grass was honeycombed. So the little individual blades, uh, fake blades, plastic blades,
Mm-hmm.
they would be connected in a honeycomb design.
Okay.
And this was designed to help keep the pellets in place. That's what the design was for. But the problem with it is that those players' cleats were getting stuck in those honeycombs, and you would see them. They'd slip all the time. Players are
Right.
slipping all over the field, and
Right.
it's because that honeycomb was grabbing onto their cleats, and it was causing them to, almost be tripped.
Right.
Very, very dangerous turf because the NFL outlawed it. They outlawed it because there's too many blown knees, ACLs, etc. And Ross, not Ross, but Gene Smith, his going away present as athletic director was to install this crap in the horseshoe, on the practice field, and inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center.
Right.
And it's, Seth McLaughlin, remember his injury from a couple years ago, the center?
Yep.
That
His he had
happened
a
in the Woody.
Achilles. Yep.
Happened in the Woody. And it's unfortunate that Gene didn't have enough foresight, in my opinion, to see that and make the course correction before. And then now he saddled Ross Bjork with this terrible field that he had to correct, and I feel like Ross has had to do a lot of correcting of Gene's inability to make proper decisions with the football program. In my opinion, he did a great job on the other sports, but let's be realistic here. Football's your bread and butter. And so I'm happy to see that go because now the field, the artificial turf, it's individual blades of grass. It looks like real grass. Actually, almost feels like real grass. It's very soft, and uh, I'm excited to see what this will look like. It looks vibrant in the pictures. I
Right,
haven't been in the shoe to see
right.
it, but it just looks much better than what the other one was. Again, plastic versus something that's real.
The
Um,
the colors look very dynamic,
yes.
whereas the old field, the end zone kind of washed out a little bit. It was pinkish red, where this is like a dynamic scarlet, and the rest of the field. Now, did they? Speaking of the Woody and the practice field, did they redo them as well?
So the Woody was redone, and the practice field was removed and placed with real grass. So we have three practice fields, and then the inside Woody. The inside Woody is the same turf that the stadium has,
Okay,
and then they have an old turf, field turf practice field that doesn't get utilized very often, and then they have the two natural grass fields, which is what they were have been practicing on.
okay.
So yeah, it's good to see natural grass back. That's what I
Yeah.
was excited for.
So hey, we got the Dinger. Brad Oberding is in the house. James McGovern, Jimmy the Meat Man. I thought he was in a popka eating tacos earlier today. I saw, you know, two things about Jimmy. He's usually got a beer and food. And if he ain't got any of them, I don't know. He must be sleeping.
He's
But
finding it.
by the way, speaking of that, I got a big, beautiful Billy Bob Bud Light just right. Only a part of one, it'll be almost 7 o'clock or so by the time we're done here. So I don't want to you don't want to drink before you go to bed.
Going to bed at 7 o'clock. That sounds like
Now,
Billy
I did
Bob
not
right there.
say that, Bugsy. You're supposed to give yourself a little time in between.
Okay.
We all know I'm an early to bed guy. I get it. Not 7. Okay. So, all right. 25, is it 25? 25 days until kickoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
what I count. Now, Buckeyes at war number 25. Who you
Yep.
got?
Carlos
Not,
Snow.
huh?
Carlos Snow.
Oh, you know what? Did he wear 25?
Yes, he did.
Okay. I didn't, they didn't, that one didn't pop up. But
Oh,
Carlos Snow,
I
there you
got one you
go.
didn't think of. Yeah. No, that's I like Carlos Snow. I what I love about Carlos Snow's story is he came back to Ohio State when he was in his 50s and earned his degree. I love that story. I think that's really cool that he did that. And Carlos Snow has one of the most iconic pictures. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I think it's against Illinois, where it's in the snow and he's running the football in the snow. It's one of my favorite Ohio State pictures. I have them. I have a Carlos Snow autograph with that. It's pretty cool.
Snow in the snow.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I got Antonio Pittman,
Yep.
Donnie Nicky,
Great Buckeye.
yep, current Bo Jackson,
Yep.
yep, Patrick, yes, Bo Jackson, yes, and Esko Sarkinen
Yeah, the Sark.
from the 30s, late 30s, early 40s. Now there are
The
one
or
or two other guys, but I didn't want
the
to.
original Sark is who he is.
Right, the original Sark. So,
Mike Weber also wore 25 too.
oh, that's right, Mike Weber from yeah,
Stayed
he
up
got
north.
his mind as they would say in Cool Hand Luke, he got his mind right, and he came
Yeah.
over to the bright side from the dark side.
I believe he changed his number, but early on, safety Rob Kelly also wore 25.
Okay,
Do you remember Rob Kelly in the mid 90s?
I don't. There was a guy named was it Rob? I thought I was reading somewhere it was a guy named Todd or maybe it's yeah. Let's see here. Who do I
The
have?
reason why I know that is Rob Kelly's from my hometown of Mount Vernon. That's why I knew. That's why I knew
Mount
that
Vernon.
yeah,
Yeah.
he played for Newark Catholic, but he's from Mount Vernon,
Ah,
and Yeah.
Yeah. So the other two guys that were on this list were Todd Bell, all Big Ten
Okay.
DB back in the on the 1980 team,
All
and
right.
Tony Curcilio, who started at quarterback, linebacker, and punter in the early
Wow.
50s.
Didn't know either one of those. You got me on that one.
Yeah, me either. I did know of Esco
Yeah.
Sarkinen. I did know about him. So, all right, where do you want to go next? You want to talk about what's going on? There hasn't been a lot of news come out of camp other than a little blurb
Well,
here and there.
I mean, I could
Uh,
give you some nuggets if you want it, but if before we do that, can we
yeah.
talk about number 24? Because tomorrow is my favorite hooker, Malik Hooker.
Okay. Okay.
Number
Malik
24, Malik
Hooker.
Hooker.
All right.
I wanted to
All
have it.
right.
I wanted to have a T-shirt made back in the day. It says, I love my hooker." My wife would not let me wear it.
I probably couldn't get away with that one either. But you got me on that one, Bugsy. You got me there.
All right. All right. So
Let's.
nuggets from camp. Okay, let's
Yes.
talk about some nuggets. So interesting enough, a lot of people thought it was a foregone conclusion that Chris Henry Jr., freshman Chris Henry Jr., or Brock Boyd would be the third starting receiver next to Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis. But Devin McEwen, the transfer from University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners, shout out to UTSA. He has just shined in camp. Chris, Bart, and myself, we were at the first day of open practice, and he stole the show. He is so smooth in his route running. He gets in and out of his cuts exceptionally well. He seems to be an above average route runner. He's got great hands, incredibly speedy and athletic. I would not be shocked at all if Devin McEwen is the starter opposite of Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis again is your slot receiver. And if that's the case, I made the prediction that night, and I'm sticking to my prediction based off of what we've heard coming out of camp from the first weekend, that Devin McEwen will be the second leading receiver in yards on this team after Jeremiah Smith. I'm pretty confident in that, and that's not something I anticipated. So
Right.
that's a good one. Do you want to remark on that, or do you want me to just go to the next
Sure.
one?
Sure. Well, I didn't. I was one that I wasn't. I didn't know who would be the guy opposite Jeremiah, but I didn't necessarily think it would be Henry just because he had a big game with Tavion in the spring game.
Yeah,
And I didn't necessarily think it would be Boyd. Now, Boyd really looked good in practice, but to me, he didn't look great at the spring game. He
I
kind
agree.
of, he kind of looked a little, I think it was a big stage. I mean, I've heard his dad talk with Sean in Knoxville, and how his dad's very serious and how Brock's very serious. He takes the game serious, and I think he did take it serious, but I just didn't think he showed great. But that's okay. I mean, we had a kid here that showed great two springs in a row, and he's no longer with the team. He's over in South Bend. When he got in the game, he just didn't perform, and that's Mylan Graham. I mean,
Hmm.
he had every opportunity late in the season, and he didn't show me anything. He certainly didn't show me that he was worthy of an additional nil, or I don't know what he was doing, whether he was you know playing video games during class or what. But anyway, that's it's regardless of that, he's not there, but he had a good spring. So that's what I would say about that. I mean, I
Yeah.
hope Henry. He's a big dude, and I think he'll
Chris
he'll
Henry Chris Henry looks every bit the part of the next great Ohio State wide receiver.
mhm,
He's put on about 15 pounds of muscle since he's gone on campus, which it doesn't look as impressive physically to your eyeballs because he's so tall, right?
right.
So he can hide extra weight very easy because he's so slim. But And Jeremiah Smith just makes everybody look small when you stand
Right.
next to him. Guy's just
Right.
massively huge. But Chris Henry, I think, looks every bit the part of the next great Ohio State wide receiver. And of course, Brock Boyd, he does it in practice nonstop. So we'll see. Running back, though, Isaiah West has made tremendous gains in the offseason. And he looks the part, every bit the part of being your starting running back. I still think that Bo Jackson is your starter. I'm not going to jump off the Bo Jackson train, but I would say if I'm a betting man, I think we have a dual threat backfield once again with Isaiah West and Bo Jackson, and they split carries. Maybe they
Right.
just go with the hot hand that day. And then Legend Bay, who missed the first 2 days of practice due to being late to practice and got disciplined for that, showed up on the third day and showed out. And he is electric with the football in his hands. So they have plenty of playmakers in the backfield. And oh, yeah, let's not forget about Jacoby Jackson from Florida, the transfer from the Gators, who lost his black stripe today. He is a big dude. He looks like a fullback to me, not necessarily a running back, but he does show a lot of athleticism for his size. I know Ohio Buckeye Nation was pretty bummed that we didn't get DGG, who ended up, deciding to go to Tennessee. But guys, that backfield is incredibly loaded. It is so good. And if the offensive line does what everybody says they're going to do, and it looked like they did in that first practice and making some pretty big holes for the running backs, we're going to be running the football like we all remember Ohio State running the football, and that's dominant. And I can't wait for that because that's just
Right.
going to open up everything on the offense.
Yep. Couple things from Patrick. He says Day wants Jackson and West both to tote the rock. Of course, yeah, I would agree with that. Probably wants Jacoby. Now, is Jacoby Jackson? I heard Chris and I'm talking about Chris and Bart and TG. They were talking about Jackson, how he's a big dude, kind of a Donaldson looking size. But is he
Yeah,
quicker? Is he
yeah.
quicker than
He's
CJ?
got quick. He's got quicker feet than CJ. Yeah, he does.
CJ had sometimes it took him a step or two to get rolling.
Well, CJ was a bigger back when he was at West Virginia. He was like at like
Right,
240, 250.
right,
And he ended up trimming about 15 to 20 pounds when he came to Columbus and got a little quicker, but that just wasn't his game. He was expected to move the pile, get 2 yards and a first down. And that's how I think
right.
they envisioned him at Ohio State as well. That's not the case with Jacoby. Jacoby's got a little bit quicker feet. He even though he's a bigger guy, he can move the puppies pretty quickly. But is he Isaiah West or Turbo Rogers or Legend Bay or Bo Jackson? No, he's not. But I do think he will carve out a place for himself as a short yardage specialist, maybe goal line specialist for Ohio State. And like Bart was saying, I would not be afraid to put him in as a lead blocker because he is a big dude.
Yeah. So you mentioned Turbo Rogers. He seems to have fallen out of the mainstream conversation. He's kind of
Well,
like
yeah, and to be honest with you, Billy Bob, I think, and this is just observations that Chris and I have made in the 2 years that we've watched him in person at practice. Is it seems like Carlos Lachlan, the running back coach, has to get on him quite a bit. There's a little bit, I think, of an immaturity with him. He's a younger guy, so sometimes he's talking when he's in line or he's not paying attention and ends up having to run a lap. He's the two practices we've seen, Turbo Rogers has run 3 laps. So I don't know if it's just coincidence that he run those laps while we were there, or if it's a little bit of a maturity issue with him. He's incredibly quick. We've seen him return punts in practice, but they've not utilized him in that. I don't know if he's just blocked. I think at some point they're going to give him an opportunity in some games to show what he can do, to showcase it. But Isaiah West is only a sophomore. Bo Jackson is only a sophomore. Legend Bay is a freshman. It seems to have passed him up already. I think he might be one of those guys if he doesn't carve out some kind of niche for himself and has a plan for the future. I hate to say it, but
Get him going, or get him gone.
the
It's in
transfer
today's
portal is a
world. So,
thing.
yep. Couple quick things. We got Butcher in the house, all the way
Matty
from
B.
Australia,
What's up, mate?
New South Wales, Griffin, Australia, and so maybe you could decipher. Patrick Green said this a little bit ago. Maybe you could decipher this. Mount Vernon is where the Canaries bark at the Bulldogs.
The Canaries? Oh, is he talking about Fredericktown Freddies and the East Knox Bulldogs?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't get it. I don't know it. I'm not from that neck of the wave.
Okay.
So, but
The only Bulldogs I know in Knox County are the East Knox Bulldogs.
Okay, maybe that's what he's talking about. All right. So you referenced offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen where there's kind of whether it be 11 Warriors or our lads, there's slight difference, I think, in who's starting. Although maybe not. I got to pull it up here. But I think the biggest question is, where's Saraveld?
Yeah,
Is he going to be a tackle, or is he going to be a guard?
That's a great point, because I think the decisions that are made are all hinged on where they're going to put Austin. If he's at, they've had him at left tackle. They had him in day one practice at right guard. They had him at the right tackle position and had Ian Moore at the left tackle position. Ryan Day gave himself 2 weeks, Billy Bob, to figure this out. What's my best option in the offensive line? My co-host, good friend Sean Strockstar, he wants to move Carson Hinsman to guard and put Josh Padilla at center. That's not going to happen. If anything, Josh Padilla is going to be at right guard. Carson Hinsman is your starting center. That's etched in stone. Luke Montgomery's your starting left guard. That's etched in stone. Both those guys are not going anywhere. If they feel Ian Moore gives them the best line, he's probably going to be your starting left tackle. And then the decision is, do we put Austin at right guard and Phillips at right tackle, or do we put Padilla at right guard and Austin at right tackle? So that is the decision that is being made right now. And it hinges, and it's great that Austin can be as flexible as simply as I can play all these positions. So really the decision is, Ian Moore, is he one of your top 5? If he is, he's your starting left tackle. And then if that's the decision that's made, then they're saying, okay, do we put Austin at guard or tackle? If he's guard, Phillips is your right tackle. If he's at tackle, Padilla is your right guard. Those are the decisions that are being made.
All right, so I'm going to throw you a little clinker here with. Okay. So that's about where our lads is. 11 Warriors, they have it as Hinsman the center.
Yep.
Padilla is his backup. Philip Daniels at right guard.
No.
Ian Moore at right tackle.
Why would they move Philip Daniels
I don't know.
guard?
That's what they got. They got Luke at left guard.
Yeah.
And then Saraveld at left tackle.
When was this posted? What's the date on it?
Come on. Oh, let's see here. Resubmit the form. Jeez, oh man. But go ahead and you can. Well, I
don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening based off of the intel I'm getting from the practices. That's all I'm saying.
This was a little while ago. Yeah, it's a little while ago. So 11 Warriors is behind on their behind in their swing, as they say in NASCAR. So that that may be old. Just look at you. Oh, I froze up for a minute there. It's like that commercial where the guy freezes up. Yeah, yeah, okay. See, that's why I got you here. Keep me straight. All right.
You're welcome.
Um, Anything else on the offense, or we go? I mean, do we know who the quarterback is?
I think. Well, here's what I think. I think Ryan Day has a plan for quarterback, and if it all works out like he wants, he will have 6 consecutive seasons of a 5-star quarterback who he developed. This is year number 2 of Julian Saint, and then he goes off to the NFL, and then the next 2 years, Tavian St. Clair, who's a 5-star quarterback, will be your starter, and then they just got committed another 5-star quarterback from Massachusetts and Christopher Vargas. He will be your starting quarterback in the years 2029 and 2030. So that would be
He's a pretty
2025 through
big kid.
26. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
6'4".
Hmm.
And
What
Tavian
about
St.
Luke?
Clair ain't no small guy either.
Wasn't Fahey? Wasn't he supposed to be? Is he a 4-star? Luke Fahey,
He's a
or was
he's
it?
a he's a low 4-star, and he's like 5'10" or 5'11".
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, let's flip to the defense.
Sure.
And or did we? Is there anything else you want to talk about on offense?
No, because the tight ends aren't worth talking about.
But we know it's going to be Nate Roberts starting,
I don't think so.
right? You think so? No, you don't. Think it's
I
going to
don't
be
think so.
Williams?
No,
Williams?
no. It was pretty evident to me that the starting tight end, at least,
Or I mean, Welsing, Hunter Welsing. That's what I meant to say.
I think in my opinion, Bennett Christian was the one who seemed to be leading that room,
Okay.
but he's the most experienced. But I'm not impressed with our tight end room at all. I haven't been since Cade Stover left. Um, we had all these high hopes last year, and although they both got drafted in the NFL pretty high, it just we just I don't know. Let's see what Arthur Smith does with them.
Bogsy, I got a little pushback to you and Wildman and all. How many freaking guys can catch how many balls? I mean, you got Jeremiah, you had Carnell, and then it was like, and what did I mean? Last year, Claire, he caught 50 balls, didn't he?
Oh, it was in the 40s, but yeah, it
40,
was.
45. I mean, and then people
I
go,
think.
well, but Brandon Ennis didn't catch. He needs to catch more balls. Well, who's gonna? How many? How many guys can catch the ball?
Well, you can catch a lot more balls if you run a lot more plays. I know that.
That is true. And I
But
don't. Do you hear? Does Ryan Day talk about it all? Is he going to slow the game? You know, last year
he
we
hasn't.
slowed the game down.
Yeah, we haven't heard about that. But so Max Clare last year, I just looked it up. He had 43 receptions. He had 51 the year before, and he played 2 less games in Purdue. He was the leading receiver at Purdue. It's not so much the number of balls; it's the yards. He had 685 yards. He had 13.4 yards per catch for Purdue. That fell by 3 yards per reception at Ohio
Okay.
State. And beyond that, I'll push back by saying this. I feel where that room failed the most was on 3rd and 4th and short.
You ain't got any argument from me.
And so
No argument.
it's like it's not all just about, stats. It's also about production, and in that production is blocking and things of that nature, and they just weren't explosive enough at the point of attack in that room, in my opinion. And and, and they really haven't been in a long time. And that's my bias on the tight end coach, Keenan Bailey. I don't like him. I feel like he's over his skis a lot. I don't like how he coaches his room. I don't like how he recruits at all. We had 0 tight ends recruited in the 2027 class. 0. That's unacceptable. And the class before that, he had to swoop in and get a 3-star from Southern Ohio late. And so he's just living on the transfer portal at this point. And I understand, like, that maybe that's their philosophy with the tight end because you want a man at that position, someone who's had multiple years of being in a college weight room, before you
Hmm.
bring them on your staff. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know, but yeah, to me the tight end position. We'll see what it looks like under Arthur Smith. I'll just put it to you that way because Arthur Smith loves the tight end. He loves to utilize the tight end. He loves to run 12-man personnel. And Ryan Day obviously wants to run some 12-man. We saw that a year ago. So we'll see how it goes.
So my issue with the third and fourth down and the tight ends last year was that the tight ends there were too many of them on the field too often.
Yeah, absolutely.
You take your skill guys off the field and you're putting in blockers. So and we're
Yeah.
not throwing to the tight
And
end.
if you're
Once
going
in
to
a
do
while we
that, you have to make it profitable. Like
right,
if you're going to decide to take Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate off the field, then you better get a first down on third and fourth and short.
right,
Otherwise, what are you doing?
right.
So you're
Yeah.
better off throwing a fade 2 times in a row to Jeremiah Smith in the corner of the end zone if
You
you can't
know,
pick up a half a yard.
agreed. Referencing you, so we just referenced Carnell Tate for a sec there, but I think Carnell Tate's a guy where I would say he and Henry have similarities. Is that you never really realized how big Carnell Tate was until you got up by him. Um, he's a big dude. He was
Yeah, he's tall.
lanky, but he was muscular, and so if Henry gets anywhere like Tate does in his the end of his first year, second year, and he goes up and because he's six what 6'4", 6'5", 6'5".
Yeah, Chris Henry Jr. is
I
six
mean,
five.
he should be getting with muscle. He should be getting all those 50-50 balls, right?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah.
I mean, so let's see. We got Foxy Bob. It's about time he got here. He's in the house. Can't even get him here on time. Yeah, Patrick. Yes, Eric references it all the time that Bailey is Ryan's buddy. But you know what? Corey Dennis wasn't he Urban's son-in-law or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, he
And
married Urban's daughter.
finally Ryan said, "Adios, my friend." AMF. All right, defensive ends. Do you have Kenyatta and Grady as your starting defensive ends?
Yeah, well, I'm really interested to see if anybody else challenges for Zion Grady. Maybe Qua Rousseau, the transfer from Alabama,
Mhm.
could push him. I think there's definitely going to be a rotation on the defensive line this year. Pretty heavy rotation on the defensive line. But other than Kenyatta Jackson Jr., who he looks like Adonis, man. He has the body and the muscle of a first round draft pick. If he could put it together and he has a double digit sack season, to me that changes everything about the projection of this defense in 2026 because you're replacing 8 starters from the front end to the back end. You're replacing first round top 10 talent everywhere on that,
Right.
and they're going to need somebody who can dominate games. And we haven't had a true defensive front end player dominate a game since Chase Young, in my opinion. Now, Jack Sawyer and JTT had a good run in the national championship run. They, especially in that Texas game, Texas couldn't stop them.
Right.
And I'll tip my hat to that. But that seemed to be after the Oregon loss when we saw that team finally do something on the defensive line. And I know there's a lot of talk about, well, that wasn't Larry's fault. That was, Jim Knowles and Larry couldn't get on the same page, and Jim Knowles was calling a defense that Larry didn't want. And hindsight being
Well,
20, that's
well, he was
revisionist
probably
history. But
calling a defense to some degree that Ryan didn't want. Otherwise,
yeah,
Ryan wouldn't have sat everybody down after the Oregon game and said,
right,
we're going to get our crap together here and
right.
you know things
But
changed.
we haven't seen that type of dominant, like, take a game over. Like, Chase
Right.
Young took games over,
Agreed.
and we haven't seen it since then. Obviously, you know, the Bosa brothers did at times. Uh, I still remember Joey basically ending that overtime game against Penn State by tackling the entire backfield.
Yeah, he just grabbed everybody all at once and said,
I'm just gonna
"You're
tackle
not
all of
going
you.
anywhere, boys. It's
Yeah,
done."
and then Nick was the same way. Nick was on a trajectory of having a probably the best career at Ohio State for a defensive lineman of all time before he got hurt and then decided it wasn't worth rushing himself back, and which is a disappointment because Chase Young was on that defensive line. We could have had Nick Bosa and Chase Young at the same time. That's insane to
That's
think about.
crazy. That's
But
crazy.
anyways, I
So,
digress. Kenyatta Jackson Jr. My Buckeye praying heart at night prays for him to have that kind of senior season.
okay, is there a Caden Curry in the line in the grouping that? And what I mean by Caden Curry, we didn't expect a lot out of Curry. We expect him to be kind of a serviceable player, right? Last year, at least I
I
didn't.
mean,
I mean, we didn't expect him to do what he did.
I had some hopes for him.
Okay.
Because I felt like he was always, kind of buried on the depth chart behind JTT and Jack Sawyer. And when he got his chance to play, he played. That there's an alternate universe, Billy Bob, where that sack again in the Indiana game, the quarterback doesn't come back and we win that game.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
he knocked the living crap out of him,
there are very
and
few guys that get up.
I'm
I mean,
telling you,
Fernando Mendoza.
Indiana won that game when Fernando came back out.
Yeah.
When he after getting the wind knocked out of him, I thought he broke a rib, and then he gets his butt up off the bench in one play and comes back out. I went, oh,
Kind of
that
remind us of who is it? Fields
yeah, a little bit against
up
Clemson,
off
yeah.
the bench and threw a touchdown
Well,
pass.
to me, it was Rocky. It was Apollo Creed, just
Rocky. Yeah, it
uh,
was. Yeah, a good point.
just just making him mad. He's just making him
Yeah.
mad.
Patrick thinks Bo's going to be a starter.
Oh, Bo Atkinson, aka Thor. They called him Thor at North Carolina. Boy, he came in with a lot of fanfare last year and didn't get a lot of playing time and didn't really show much. Maybe, like he's been in the program for the year, for a season. He's had a year of development under Larry Johnson. If you're going to do it, this would be the year to do it. I think this is his senior year, so maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm a Zion Grady guy, and don't sleep on the true freshman Kerry Wilder. He's elite. He is elite. And one of my favorite sayings, John Cooper, if he's a dog, he'll bite as a pup. I love that quote.
One of the things we love about John Cooper.
I like John Cooper. I mean,
Hey, I don't
I've grown
dislike him. I didn't like him at all when he was coaching. But
two 10-1 hurts, I know, but
hey, we have two Thors on this team
okay.
because I believe that's also Christian Aliegro's nickname.
Well, hopefully they can combine their powers and they can call on those Norse gods to come down in the shoe and help them because
Now our lads show him as a starter at the will at O'Reilly Pettijohn.
I think if we do go 4-3, there's a chance he gets in. I do. Obviously Peyton Pierce is your starting linebacker. He's basically
Right.
the team captain on defense. He's calling the defense. James has let everybody know that's the guy he trusts. A lot of people believe Riley Pettijohn is your other starter at the linebacker when we're running a 4-2-5. Here's what's crazy. Garrett Stover, man, he was all over the field in that first practice. And that surprised me a little bit. That I think Garrett Stover is going to play special teams and be a backup linebacker, but he was interesting to see. And then here's my freshman don't sleep on him take. Sincere Johnson. I love that kid. I've loved that kid's game for 2 years. I've watched several Glenville high school games where he just dominated the football game from the linebacker position. He can shut down the run like it's no one's business. He kind of reminds me a little bit of the Bo Jackson of the defense, and if
Right.
that's the case, then we're going to see him sooner rather than later. So, I think James is grooming Sincere Johnson to be the next middle linebacker at Ohio State whenever Peyton Pierce decides to go to the NFL. Peyton's only a junior, so he technically could stay for 3 more years if he wanted with the new rule. But
Right.
I think Peyton Pierce is probably a 2-year starter at Ohio State, and Sincere Johnson is probably getting in and playing a lot in his other linebacker positions as well. But the linebacker room, although they don't have the name recognition that they did last year, with Sonny and them, but they might be deeper than they were last year.
Could be. I mean, I like this kid, Allegro. I mean, he's a big dude. He's a beast.
He's tall. He's tall. Here I got mixed reviews for you.
Okay.
So when I was talking to the Oregon guy from Sports Nation who interviewed me, he was super down on Christian Alliegro. He says that um, he's like the type of guy who's always out of position. It was
Hmm.
his take on
Okay.
him at Wisconsin, and that and then the other guy that was super negative on him was the actual Wisconsin guy I talked to, who was kind of like they look at him the same way we kind of look at Tegra Shabola, addition by subtraction. And I thought that was interesting as well. So even though he's getting quite a bit of fanfare from Buckeye Nation, um, some people distant from our program who are maybe a little bit more closer to the situation for him in Madison are a little bit more negative on him. And so I thought that was interesting. So I'm kind of a
It
little
is.
bit like I'm a little bit more what I like to call Missouri with him. Show me first.
Show me. Well, either James gets him in shape and gets him in the right spot, and if James does that, I mean, in James we trust, right at the
That's right.
linebacker room.
Yeah.
Yep. Patrick says we didn't mention T.J. Alford, but he's certainly a good prospect.
He
And then
again, he's got a great look about him. Pretty athletic for his size. Um, but I'm a little worried that he's just gonna be kind of sitting behind people.
yeah, when you got that many guys, and the good news here is that we got 5 years now. There's no more red shirt. We don't have to
Right.
worry about playing a guy a game and a half, and then he sits for 5 weeks, and then we bring him in and mop up or something. These guys can rotate in and play, and if they earn it, right?
Right.
So and we didn't even get to. I guess we're getting tight here. We're getting close to the end, but we didn't get to the DBs. But that's pretty.
Here's
What do
my
you got
defensive
there?
nugget. Yeah, here's my defensive nugget for you. And this one surprised me. Um, they had Jay Timmons, the freshman, true freshman, um, who I think was originally from Pennsylvania and really highly touted defensive back who we kind of snagged away from Florida State. He was committed to Florida State, decommitted. We grabbed him. They have him at the corner slot or the nickel,
The
and
nickel.
he
Mm-hmm.
looked great in that first day of practice. And he's got a lot of buzz around him right now. A lot of people are talking like he might actually start as a true freshman. And again, that was not something that was anticipated at all. Um, this is for your viewers, and this is just my opinion. I'm still not impressed with Devin Sanchez. I know everybody, he's a 5-star. He's going to start this year. Everybody's talking like he's just had a great offseason. Again, Missouri, show me. First practice. Now, again, you're going up against Jeremiah Smith. I get it. Jeremiah kind of had his way with him that first practice. You get a big stop against Jeremiah Smith, you knock the ball down, everybody's like, "Ooh, wow." You do it 1 out of 10 times, that's the one they're showing the highlight of. But he caught
Yeah,
7 balls on you, dude, before that. Um, Again, you're going up against Jeremiah Smith. Iron sharpens iron. I get it. I still see him on a a 3rd and 5 against Miami, 8 yards off the wide receiver, easy first down catch, ball game. You can't do those things.
yep.
And I know he's got all the accolades. I know everybody, loves him. I know his dad does a podcast with Riley Pettijohn's dad. I get it. I know why everybody loves him. I just want you to show me that you can be who you say you are. Until
Right.
I see it, I got my doubts. I'm sorry. I just do.
Well, I have one guy that I think a lot of people are very interested in. We haven't talked about him.
Okay.
Maybe the most important transfer portal player on the team.
Are you talking about a kicker with the last name Huckins? Caw-caw, caw-caw.
Yeah. Now, I thought I saw something early a couple days ago that wasn't necessarily
Yeah.
positive
Yeah.
about
So
Connor.
so Friday or Thursday, we went to the Thursday practice. They did 0 kicking. If they did any kicking, it was inside and everything else was outside. And that's very well what they might have done. Um, but apparently he came out and did some kicking on Saturday and missed some field goals. I don't want to panic, but there is some serious PTSD in this fan base. And I'm afraid that can be felt on the field. If he slams a 50-yarder through early in the season, I think everybody will be like, "Whew, all right, we're good." But if he misses on like a 35-yarder or something against Ball State, you watch. This fan base is going to panic. They are going to panic.
Now, is
Um,
his backup a freshman?
yes.
Cooper Peterson, I
Yeah,
guess.
I don't even know who he is. So yeah.
Yeah, well, let's hope we don't know who he is. Let's hope we don't get to know his name.
It's crazy to me that we can't figure this out at Ohio State. And I'm starting to think maybe we're freaking cursed because I just went to my stepson's scrimmage last Friday or Saturday. Our kicker at Delaware Hayes High School slammed a 50-yarder through straight through the uprights that would have been good from 60. High school kids are doing this. He was they started on the 20 and they worked their way all the way back till he was kicking from whatever that is, the 33 to make it a 50-yarder.
Right.
And if high school kids can do this, surely someone who's paid NIL in college should be able to do this. And it's just
Well,
like
he was pretty damn good last year at Baylor, wasn't
Baylor,
he?
yeah. That's why I'm saying if he did it at
Yeah.
Baylor and he can't do it at Columbus, Ohio, are we cursed? Is there some kind of kicking curse going on here?
Well, yeah, let's hope not. All right, we're at an hour. That's probably good. We didn't talk about the top 10 and that, but we can talk about that another time. It's
Sure.
not like you're not welcome anytime. And we're gonna do more of these, especially as the season gets rolling. But I'm okay with if we weren't number one. That's okay with me. Coaches say we are. Klatt says we're not, but that's okay. He was close, 3, not number one, but I'm okay with anywhere in the top 10. I don't care.
It's called clicks, Billy Bob. Clicks.
Yeah, clicks. Oh boy. Well, get out of your silo, folks. You know, or in this case, maybe get back in your silo. It's football season.
Yeah.
Any parting words, Bogsy, before I exit stage left here?
It's good to have football back. It's good to talk to my good friend Billy Bob. What are we doing? Are we going on 6 years being friends?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it
I
was
think it's
2020.
6.
Was it 2020?
2020,
Was
20.
it pre-COVID?
I actually think, it might have been pre-COVID
Yeah,
because
I
I
think
think it
so.
was, yeah, which, yep, at Yogi's, I guess, or whatever it was
You
called.
have watched my beard get grayer and grayer every year.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Well, you know
tell it.
what? Mine, and now you've seen, as I've said many times, gray is not an absolute. So, I'll take my hat off. And so now I just do one of the two C's.
Oh,
It used to
okay.
be a cut, a C and C. Now it's just a C. So,
At least you got hair, but you got great hair, Billy Bob. That's the
well,
thing,
thank
man.
you. Thank you.
That's the
So
thing.
far,
Like
so good.
I'm afraid I'm gonna go bald and look like Fester from the Addams Family when it's all said and done.
Oh, all right, Bugsy. That's all we got. Go Bucks. Um, America, land of the free, because of the brave. Stay focused, America. Billy Bob, peace out. Where's that button? Got to end this thing. I don't know, Bob. It says it's ended.
Okay.
There we go. Wait. Yeah, wait.